Imagine being trapped in that kind of environment, surrounded by the unknown, with no way to escape. It's a nightmare come true, and it's exactly what our first story is all about. There's a small town with a legend about a haunted basement. The story goes that a family moved into an old house, only to discover that their basement was home to something malevolent. Doors would slam shut on their own, objects would move around, and disembodied voices would whisper in the dead of night. At first, the family thought it was just the house settling, but soon they realized that something was very wrong. One night, the parents woke up to find their kids missing, only to discover them huddled together in the basement. That's when they saw it. A dark, shadowy figure looming over them, its presence making the air feel thick and heavy. Our second story takes us to an abandoned asylum, where a group of friends decided to explore the creepy basement. As they made their way deeper into the dark, they stumbled upon an old operating room, complete with rusted medical equipment and broken wheelchairs. But it was what they found next that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. On the walls, there were symbols, strange arcane markings that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. And then they heard the whispers. And final story takes us to a small apartment complex where a young woman lived in a basement unit. At first, everything seemed normal, but soon, she started to notice strange noises, creaks, groans, and whispers that seemed to come from the walls themselves. One night, she woke up to find her door open, and that's when she saw it. A figure, tall and imposing, standing in the corner of her room. She tried to scream, but her voice was frozen in her throat. And then, everything went black. But here's the twist. The figure wasn't a ghost or a monster. It was something much more sinister, much more real. You see, the woman's apartment complex had a dark history, a history of ritual sacrifice and occult practices, and the figure she saw was not a spirit, but a real person, a person who had been hiding in the walls, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The woman managed to escape, but the experience left her traumatized, and she was never the same again. So, there you have it. 3 basement horror stories that will leave you sleeping with the lights on. But the question is, what's the real horror here? Is it the monsters, the ghost, or the unknown? Or is it something more? Is it the fact that these stories are rooted in reality, that they're based on true events that really happened to real people? That's the real terror, the knowledge that these events can happen to anyone, at any time, in any basement, anywhere. If you've got a basement horror story of your own, share it with me in the comments below, and if you want more chilling tales, be sure to check out my next video. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the creepy unknown. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.